All right, kids, this sheet's going to be a total focus on word problems, all right? And I'm going to use some different techniques here, sometimes substitution, sometimes elimination. Talks about a Mexican restaurant. Regular lunch cost is 2 tacos, 3 enchiladas. Special lunch is 4 tacos and 5 enchiladas. Now, it actually defines the variables for us here. X is number of cents charged for each taco. Y is the number of cents charged to each enchilada. Regular lunch costs $2.39, and the special lunch is $4.23. How many cents is each taco? We have to find the price of both. So we're going to set up, we have a regular lunch that's this: 2 tacos and 3 enchiladas. So 2 tacos times the price of a taco, which was X, they told us that, plus 3Y, that's the price of the enchilada. That is the regular lunch, right? And what's the regular lunch cost? It costs $2.39. So there's our first equation. Our second equation, that's going to be the special lunch, right? That's 4 tacos and 5 enchiladas, and that cost $4.23. Okay? I would solve this. I mean, actually, you don't have any coefficients of 1. So to me, this is something you have to solve with substitution. Okay? With elimination. I'm going to go ahead and match up these x's. You see how that's a 4x? So I'm going to multiply this top thing by -2, and I'm just going to write it down right underneath here. So this would be -4x, -2 times 3y is -6y, -2 times that is going to be -478. And now these x's go away. That's why we did that. We get -y equals -0.55. If we divide by -1, we get y equals point. So an enchilada just cost 55 cents, right? Okay. Now remember, we still have to find the other. We have to solve for x. I'm going to take this first equation, 2x plus 3, but I'm going to plug in 0.55. So remember, that's 3 times 0.55, that's $1.65. So subtract that from both sides, and you get 0.74. And if I divide by 2, I get 0.37. So the taco price is pretty inexpensive. Who knows how old this stuff is, and this is the enchilada price. Okay. There you go. But that was definitely a, what's it called? Elimination problem for sure. Here, this is a classic number money problem. We don't know the number of students. X is number of students. We don't know the number of adults. Y is number of adults. They told us that 600 tickets were sold. So X plus Y must be 600. Now that's the number equation. Students cost $1.50, so $1.50x plus 250y has to equal, they got $1,020. Okay, you can solve this. I'm gonna use substitution. I'm going to solve this top one for x because that means I have to move y over. So I get x equals 600 minus y. That's got to go in here. Okay, I'm going to go over here now. So $1.50 times 600 minus y plus 250y equals 1020. You got to do a little distribution here. You get 900 minus $1.50y. I'm going to combine like terms and move the 900 over at the same time. Negative 150 and 250 is just 1y. If I move the 900 over by subtracting, I get 120. Remember, that's 120 what? That's 120 adults. I would go into right here. X equals 600 minus 120. That would be 480 students. The question asks for both, so we have to give both. Okay. Perimeter of the triangle is y. Okay, triangle. You can do that. So that means if the perimeter of the triangle is y, that means add up all the sides, right? X plus x plus x, 1 plus 2. Remember, it told us that the perimeter was y. Okay. Now this one, remember, there's actually 4 sides of this because it's a rectangle. So that would be 2y plus 4x, and they told us that the perimeter is 36. But I'm going to use substitution here because this is already solved for y. So I'm going to take that and stick it in there. So 2 times 3x plus 3 plus 4x, 6x plus 6. So I'm going to combine like terms and move the 6 over at the same time. So I get 10x equals 30. So x equals 3. You can do this in your head, folks. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So we get x equals 3 and we get y equals 12. There we go. We solve for both. That's a definite substitution problem because we had an equation solved for y. We saw this problem before, right? But now I think we did it when we were graphing. Now we're going to do it with a different method. So let's say x is number of regular, y is number of diet. Our number equation, we bought 12 bottles. Our money equation, the regular was $1, so $1 times x, which would be 1x, plus $1.50y equals 15. Okay. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, I'm going to do elimination here. I'm going to multiply this top one, watch this, just by -1. Because that way, and I'm going to write it down here, that would be negative x. Now we're going to have an opposite pair of x's. Minus y equals -12. So those go away. This ends up being 0.50y equals 3. So if you divide by 0.50, y equals 6. What number plus 6 equals 12? X is 6 as well. So you actually had 6 regular and 6 diet. So they're just coincidental that they're both the same. Okay, last year you mowed or shoveled snow for 10 households. So, but we don't know who got what. X is number mowed. Y is number shoveled. And they told us that it was 10 total. Now let's take care of the money. You charge $200 to mow a yard, so 200 times X, that's for the whole season. This is old days, of course. Now this will come back in a second. So this is 200X plus 180Y equals 1880. Okay. Yeah, my computer's just not happy here right now. I'm not too sure why that is. It's just wigging out left and right. I'm going to go ahead and use substitution. Again, you could do elimination too. I'm going to solve this for x. I'm going to subtract y. So x equals 10 minus y. So I'm going to take that and stick it in there. 200 times 10 minus y plus 180. Whoops, that's just y equals 1880. You got to distribute, so you get 2000 minus 200y plus 180y. So if I combine like terms, I get like terms here and here. Negative 200y and 180y, that's going to be negative 20y. If I subtract 2000 from both sides, I get negative 120, and I get y equals 6. Whoops, sorry. Y equals 6. That's the number that you, y was number shoveled, right? 6 shoveled. So it was 10 households you shoveled for. I think I got to work on my spelling here. And obviously, what number plus 6 is 10? X would, of course, be 4. All right. Last one. Mike and Susan. So let's just use M and S. M is the number of fish. M is number of fish for Mike. S is number fish for Susan. This one can be a little bit tricky, so you definitely got to pay attention. The first equation is easy, right? Together they caught 15 fish. It's the next thing that gets tricky. It says Susan caught twice as many. So let's start with that. Susan caught twice as many fish as Mike. Susan caught, that's our equals, twice as many fish as Mike. So Mike was the smaller number. So 2 times Mike will give you Susan. So clearly this is a substitution problem. So M plus 2M equals 15. 3M equals 15. So Mike caught 5, and that's actually what they were asking us for. There we go.